teams fit into the scheme of things. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier.
NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Hello, and welcome to another Wisconsin Baseball Association Regional Tournament edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you more tournament action as the Eau Claire Cavaliers face the Whittlesey Reds at Bob Young Field in Ellsworth in their second matchup in WBA pool play. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Reds. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister's perspective on today's game in the Ryan Bemister Show. Following that, we'll review the various WBA regional sites and check in on where the CRBL teams fit into the scheme of things. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. And finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Bob Young Field in Ellsworth. So it's time to get ready for some playoff action, and we'll do just that. Coming up right after this brief timeout, you're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time shero to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our shero, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will continue WBA regional tournament play as they take on the Whittlesey Reds. The Cavaliers are coming off a victory yesterday over the Iron City Miners, and a win today would propel the Cavs to the WBA State Tournament next weekend in Eau Claire Odacio. Now, the Reds also faced the Iron City Miners yesterday, so the result of today's game will determine the state tournament participant. The Reds are coming off a 7-win, 5-loss campaign in the WBA Dairyland League, which finished them in 5th place. In league games against other teams in the WBA regionals, the Reds were defeated twice by the Wisconsin Rapids Redhawks and once by the Marshfield Chaparrals. They also defeated the Everest Merchants twice, giving them a 2-3 record against teams in the WBA regionals. Now, coming into this weekend, leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate is Xavier Bemister, who's hitting at a .360 pace and has driven in 13 RBI on 27 hits, including 5 doubles. Right behind Bemister with a .309 batting average is Caden Erickson, who leads the Cavaliers with 38 hits, including 9 doubles. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Lucas Costley. He's posted an 8-1 record with a 2.77 ERA and has struck out 62 in his 68 1/3 innings pitched. Andrew Milner has a 3.07 ERA with a 5-2 record and leads the team in strikeouts with 89 in 58 2/3 innings pitched. As a staff, the Cavaliers have a combined earned run average of 4.60 with a whip of 1.67. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get manager Ryan Bemister's perspective as we chat with him on the Ryan Bemister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout, playoff style, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemister Show. where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, the Ryan Bemister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers are going to continue their WBA regional pool play when they take on the Whittlesey Reds. The win the Cavs achieved over the Iron City Miners yesterday makes this a win and in game for the Cavaliers. Winning this game would mean the Cavaliers win their pool and will qualify for the WBA State Tournament in Eau Claire. So talk a little bit about how exciting an opportunity this is to possibly head back to the state tournament.
Well, not only is it exciting just to go back to state, we were there last year, but it's exciting that we'll be able to play at home. That's kind of a big thing for us. I mean, any chance you get to play a playoff game at home, whether it's in the CRBL or the WBA, it's going to be a big deal. We'll have a big crowd there, and stuff like that. So getting a win against Whittlesey would be really nice. And kind of, all of our goals that we set at the beginning of the year, we're meeting all those goals, but now we need to set new ones. It would have been nice to win the CRBL. I ran into a buzzsaw there. But it'd been really nice to win state. I mean, CRBL is bragging rights. WBA is state champion. So it'd be really nice to get a win tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, against Whittlesey and go home, not have to travel, not have to do anything, sleep in our own beds, no hotels, and just take care of business at state.
Now, in today's game, the Cavs are going to face the Whittlesey Reds, who play in the WBA Dairyland League, finishing kind of in the middle of the pack. What are you expecting today from Whittlesey?
I don't know. I don't know much about them, much like I didn't know anything about Iron City. I'm assuming, we're going to see, best performance, scrappy playing, that kind of stuff. But it's kind of an unknown thing for us. With these smaller teams that come from the upper Wisconsin or anywhere that we're not familiar with. There's not much coverage for these guys. There's not much anything. So you're kind of going in blind. So you just got to give it your best and throw your best at them and do what you can, and hopefully you come out on the winning end. It's
one of those where the Cavs take care of business and let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and we're pretty good at that. Like I've said before and stuff, the high-stress games that we played at the end of the year, we know what caliber of team we are, and I think we can stand toe-to-toe with anybody in the Wisconsin Baseball Association. The big guns of like Osseo, Tilden, and River Falls, Holman, those guys. And we played Holman earlier too. We know we can stand toe-to-toe with all of them. So it's these middle ground teams that you're just kind of, it's a gray area. You don't know what you're going to get. So, but if we play our game, we should be fine.
Now, yesterday, Lucas Cosley got the call to the mound. Are we going to, is it fair to say, probably see Andrew Milner?
Yeah, Milner's been our second best pitcher all year long. And there's really, when you look at our pitchers, it's not like best, second best, third best, but it's like 1A, 1B, that kind of stuff. So we'll throw Andrew. It's a tricky lefty. He's been spot on. I mean, probably his last 6-7 starts. Almost untouchable, to say it. I mean, his outing against Osseo shows you that. Pitched 5 scoreless innings against the best team in the CRBL. So we're throwing Andrew. We've got confidence in him like we got confidence in everybody else. And, hopefully our sticks come alive again and we're good.
Well, Ryan, good luck on today's game. Hopefully after this game, the Cavaliers will find themselves headed to the friendly confines of Carson Park for the WBA State Tournament.
That would be really nice.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bemister Show presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Welcome back to the WBA Regional Tournament edition of In the Dugout, as as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of the Eau Claire Cavaliers' second game as they face off against the Whittlesey Reds. Both these teams are hoping to advance to the Wisconsin Baseball Association State Tournament next weekend in Eau Claire and Osseo. So let's take a look at how the Chippewa River Baseball League is represented in the WBA regional tournaments. It's quite a testament to the quality of the Chippewa River Baseball League when 9 of its 11 teams qualify for the 36 WBA regional slots. Those 36 teams are separated into 12 pools with 2 pools located at each site. The winner of each pool will advance to the WBA State Tournament next weekend in Eau Claire and Osseo. Now, in addition to the Cavaliers facing Iron City and Whittlesey in Pool B at Ellsworth, other CRBL teams in the regionals include the Eau Claire Rivermen facing the Wisconsin Rapids Redhawks and the La Crosse 35ers in Pool A at the first Wisconsin Rapids site, while the Bloomer Woodticks will take on the Everest Merchants and the Spring Valley Hawks in Pool A at the second Wisconsin Rapids site. At the Hayward Regional, in Pool A, the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks face the Hayward Hawks and the Washburn Sharptails, while in Pool B, the Jim Falls Sturgeons square off against the Lake Superior Sea Dogs and the Spooner Cardinals. Over in River Falls, in Pool A, the Cadott Red Sox face off against the number 1 seeded and defending WBA state champion River Falls Fighting Fish, as well as the Glidden Orioles. In Pool B, the Eau Claire Bears take on the Norwalk Knights and the Hudson River Rats. And down in the Augusta Regional, in Pool A, the Osseo Merchants square off against the Plum City Blues and the La Crosse Cardinals, while in Pool B, the Tilden Tigers are trying to return to the state championship game by taking on the Elmwood Expos and the Marshfield Chaparrals. Good luck to all 9 of the CRBL teams as they compete in the WBA regional action this weekend. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Campbell Kapanke. Don't confuse him with Cooper because he's got a lot to prove. That he's might be younger, but he's not necessarily the little brother. Campbell, can you fill us in on your role with the Cavaliers?
Just filling spots in the outfield and just try to fill my role in the lineup. Just wherever they put me, just driving some runs and help win.
Now, you had a pretty interesting experience in your very first at-bat with the Cavaliers. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, and it was kind of went by at a flash. I didn't get any at-bats for my college season, so it was my first at-bat all year, but yeah, it was a great experience, a full count home run. It was a good time.
Now, when we talked with your brother, we talked a little bit about he's added some power to his swing. What was his reaction when all of a sudden you made the first round tripper for the Kapankes?
I know he told me right away that he jumped up knowing it was gone right off the bat, and then I remember rounding third, I could see him running out, and right out of the plate, gave me a big hug, and yeah.
Now, how about filling us in a little bit about your family and anybody else that's coming to watch you play for the Cavaliers?
I know both sets of my grandparents come to all me and Coop's games, so they'll always be there. And then same with my parents and occasionally my sister, and like Coop said, the dogs come out here and there. But.
Okay. All right, rapid fire questions for you too. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ooh, cookies.
Which kind?
I like chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. I just made a batch of those not too long ago. Boy, were they good too.
Good.
Your favorite color and why?
I'd say red. I don't really know why. It's just kind of always been my favorite, but
kind of like the hat you're wearing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I would say ideal one would be speed, but I also like strength too.
Okay. Now, if you have speed and strength as a superpower, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. What do you think that would be?
During high school, one of my teammates always called me Kapank the Tank, so that'd be good for strength.
Yeah, I was going to say, the tanks aren't real fast, but they do have a lot of strength.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. Major leaguer who most inspired you as you were growing up?
Carlos Gomez.
Okay, so I'm assuming then you're probably a Brewers fan.
Yep.
Okay, really good. Favorite TV show or movie?
I'm a big Office fan.
Okay, all right. We're talking with Campbell Kapanke today on Cavalier Profile. And Campbell, when you're not playing baseball, what are we going to find you doing?
I'll be either with my friends or my family.
Okay. All right. And when people watch Cavalier games, where are they going to find you?
Somewhere in the outfield or just chilling around the dugout. But.
Okay. We want to thank Campbell Kapanke for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more in the dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
My character Shazam knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime.
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today the Cavaliers take on the Whittlesey Reds. And for the Cavaliers, well, it's basically win and you're in. A victory over the Reds today would launch the Cavaliers to the WBA State Tournament in Eau Claire and Osseo. Returning to the WBA State Tournament has been one of the goals for the Cavaliers this season, and in just a while, we will see if that goal is accomplished. Now that all means you're about to see some exciting Cavalier playoff baseball, and we'll have it for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll be joining the rest of our broadcast crew at Bob Young Field in Ellsworth, Wisconsin, as we bring you all the action of today's WBA regional game. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball into left field. Could it be? Could it be? Way back. Toss the fence and it's out of here. It's a 3-run home run and the Cavaliers take the lead.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
And good afternoon. Rick Olson here in Ellsworth. And the home of the Hubbers. And Ben Ryder is right next to me, along with Ann Monroe and Cassie Johnson-Nelson, bringing you WBA regional play. And Ben, I'll bet you didn't know what a hubber was.
What is a hubber?
Well, we had to ask. We did ask after yesterday's game, because I had not heard the term before, but it's because this is the hub city of the county. And so that's why they are the Ellsworth Hubbers. And somewhere around here, let's do it this way. We're getting some feedback, and I can fix that just like that. And teams are going to start taking their ins and outs, as they call it, the infield, outfield practice. So we have a little bit of time to kill here. Yesterday, the Cavaliers came out on top over the Iron City Miners in a game shortened due to the 10-run rule by a score of 11-1. Great pitching performance yesterday by Jackson Vance. Struck out 13 and went the distance. His arm's a little sore today, but that's to be expected after that. 13 strikeouts, Ben. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, I was impressed with him yesterday, and boy, did he save our bullpen.
Yeah, he really did. Mainly because Lucas Costley was tabbed to start that game, and his arm is a little bit sore. He's throwing a lot this season, and so it's just a little bit fatigued. And so they were able to not have Costley pitch. Hopefully, if the Cavaliers can be successful today, Costley will be available next weekend. By the way, I should mention that the Cavaliers are going to be taking on the Whittlesey Reds. And the Whittlesey Reds are out of the WBA Dairyland League. And the winner of this game will advance to the state tournament in Eau Claire and Osseo. And so the Cavaliers are hoping to come out on top in this one, as they're out taking their outfield fly balls. In fact, Lucas Costley is the one hitting those fly balls to them. And so they're out doing that. Should catch you up a little bit on CRBL performances in the WBA regionals and other regionals. First of all, the Osseo Merchants have now punched their ticket to the state tournament, defeating the Plum City Blues 12-1. That was a game shortened to 8 innings due to the 10-run rule. And then they just defeated the La Crescent Cardinals by a score of 8-0. It was the Tilden Tigers over the Elmwood Expos 15-3, and they are taking on Marshfield this afternoon. The Eau Claire Bears were defeated by the Norwalk Knights 12-5, and they will take on the Hudson River Rats this afternoon. That's scheduled for 4 o'clock. The Eau Claire Rivermen defeated the La Crosse 35ers 4-2, but they are trailing the Wisconsin Rapids 5-0 after 6 innings. The Cadott Red Sox were defeated by the Glidden Orioles 1-0, I think is what the score says. And then they also were defeated by the River Falls Fighting Fish 9-2. The Jim Falls Sturgeons probably had 2 of the closest games in the tournament, in the regional tournaments They were defeated by the Lake Superior Sea Dogs 13-12. And then in the late game last night, they were defeated by the Spooner Cardinals 4-3. So they lost 2 games by a total of 2 runs. The Bloomer Woodticks were defeated by the Everest Merchants 8-1, and then by the Spring Valley Hawks 6-0. And the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks were defeated by the Washburn Sharptails 10-6, and they will play the Hayward Hawks later this afternoon. So as of right now, the Osseo Merchants are the only CRBL team that has punched their ticket to the state tournament. The Tilden Tigers, with a win today, will do the same. The Cavaliers, with a win today, will do the same. And the Eau Claire Bears would have to defeat Hudson by a bunch to get in. And the Rivermen will have to make a big comeback against Wisconsin Rapids to get there. Lumberjacks would have to defeat the Hayward Hawks and score at least 10 runs against the Hawks. I don't know how the Hawks did in their other game. But we're getting closer to the start of today's game as the Whittlesey Reds are looking to take their ins and outs. And while we wait for that to happen, why don't we take a timeout? And you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
And we're back here in Ellsworth. And we're getting ready now as the Whittlesey Reds take the field to do their ins and outs. So let me fill you in on the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the visiting Whittlesey Reds, leading off the center fielder, Nick Meyer. Batting second is the second baseman, Tom Mildebrand. Batting third is the shortstop, Jeff Krasniewski. Batting fourth is the first baseman, Brent Mueller. Batting fifth is the third baseman, Brandon Lacher. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, Spike Alexander. Batting seventh, left fielder, Ben Meyer. Batting eighth, the catcher, Cade Alexander. And batting ninth is the right fielder, Zach Haynes. On the mound for the Reds is Nick Rederath. And for the Cavs, leading off, second baseman Caden Erickson. Erickson went 1 for 3 yesterday. Batting second, this is basically the same lineup as yesterday. Batting second is the third baseman, Xavier Bemister. And Bemister went 0 for 4 yesterday.
Good afternoon.
Batting fifth is the right fielder, Gabe O'Brien, who went 0 for 2. Batting fourth is the left fielder, Jack Redwine. Redwine went 2 for 3, including a home run yesterday. Batting fifth is the catcher, Cole Timon, who went 2 for 4. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Campbell Kapanke. He went 2 for 2, including a home run over that tall fence in left field. And batting seventh, the center fielder, Luke Erickson. He went 0 for 3. Tyson Woodcock, who went 1 for 2 yesterday, is playing first base. He'll be batting 8th. And batting 9th is the shortstop, Ben Boda. He went 0 for 2. On the mound for the Cavaliers, Andrew Milner. He comes into the game with a 5-2 record, 3.07 ERA. He has 89 strikeouts in 58 2/3 innings pitched. He's leading the Cavaliers in strikeouts. And he's got that ERA down right about where he wants it. He's been pretty effective as of late. So Whittlesey taking their infield practice, and we will take another timeout. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Well, that was exciting. While we were away, our awning tried to blow away on us. And so we had to do some quick tie downs, and we have successfully done that. Now we've tied the awning down to our table, so if we leave the air all of a sudden, it's because our table is in the next county. The wind all of a sudden just kind of picked up and tried to lift the awning. It was almost like it was in slow motion, Ben.
Rick, you have really good reflexes.
Well, I don't know about that, but it worked.
I just wanted to mention Whittlesey Reds come in with a 7-5 record.
And the Cavaliers are now 20-15 on the season, as the Cavaliers have taken the season. And that's always a good sign. Andrew Milner took his first warm-up pitch and delivered it right into the backstop. You want to get those out of your system before it's all said and done.
And thankfully, Billy McKnight, the plate umpire, was not anywhere near there. And shout out to the base umpire, Troy Ingley.
Taking a look at the Cavaliers defensively, Cole Timon behind the plate. At third base is Xavier Bemister. Ben Boda is out at second. Ben Boda's at short. Caden Erickson is at second. Tyson Woodcock is at first. Out in the outfield, it's Redwine, Luke Erickson, and O'Brien going from left to right. And as we mentioned, Andrew Milner on the mound. And we're just about ready to get things started here. Due up for the Whittlesey Reds. And stepping up to the plate is Nick Meyer, the center fielder.
Center fielder number 11, Nick Meyer.
And Meyer steps in. Milner takes a sign, goes into the wind, and the pitch. It's a little bit high for a ball. And that's a strike. What's the matter? Ground ball. Picked up.
Bang blade play. Boda throws him out.
Batting second, the second baseman, number 5, Tom Milbrand.
And that'll bring up Tom Mildebrand.
That's a ground ball picked up by Boda. Throw over to first. Pulled Tyson off the bag, but he made the tag.
Batting third, the shortstop, number 33, Jeff Krasnewski.
So 2 ground balls to the shortstop, 2 quick outs. First pitch is high, ball 1.
And the pitch, swing and a miss. Milner into his wind. And that pitch is a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the pitch. That's high for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. 2 down, isn't it? Scoreboard's off again. Here's the pitch. That's a strike 3 called. Krasnewski thought that he had ball 4, but he did not. And they go down 1, 2, 3, the Reds do. And we played a half inning. The Whittlesey Reds, nothing. And the Cavaliers coming to bat on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Back here in Ellsworth, leading off for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the first inning is Caden Erickson. And the first pitch is a called strike.
Erickson coming into the weekend batting .309.
And after yesterday, he's at .310. Fly ball foul out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Foul ball coming back towards us. Lands about 20 feet away. Count remains 0-2. Rederath into his motion and the pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Erickson goes down swinging. It's going to bring up Xavier Bemister. Bemister went 0 for 4 yesterday.
Number 4, Xavier Bemister.
Bemister came into the weekend batting .360.
And that, after going 0 for 4, dropped down to .342. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And the pitch. That one missed outside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Nick Rederath on the mound for the Whittlesey Reds. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch. That one's inside, counts even at 2-2. Taking a look at the Reds defensively at third base is Lacher. Krashenuski is over at shortstop. Foul ball out of play. Count holds at 2-2. Mildebrand is at second. Mueller is at first. Alexander behind the plate. Out in the outfield, Ben Meyer, then Nick Meyer, and then Haynes going from left to right. Pop up into the infield. Coming in is Krashenuski, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien went 0 for 2 yesterday.
Batting third, the right fielder number
He was
47,
our
Gabe
Geno's
O'Brien.
player of the game yesterday, and I should mention that our Geno's player of the game today is Jack Redwine, who's on deck right now. There's a pitch, and it gets past Alexander to the backstop for ball one. So when you go out to Geno's tomorrow and you mention Jack Redwine's name, you'll get a free soft drink. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul. Counts even at 1-1. And if Redwine does come in and score today, well, then you'll be entitled to a free appetizer for your table. Rederath delivers. That's inside for a ball.
Gabe O'Brien came into the weekend batting .287.
And he's now at .281. Here's the pitch. That's down low. Nice job of trying to frame it by Alexander. And the pitch. That was inside for ball four. So O'Brien draws the walk, which is something he did a couple of times yesterday as well.
Batting fourth, the left fielder number 20, Jack Redwine.
So here comes our Geno's player of the game, Jack Redwine. He went 2 for 3, including a home run yesterday. Pop foul and off the fence. On the left side.
With his home run yesterday, Jack claimed the lead for home runs for the Cavs, with 3 on the season.
He comes into this game batting .292. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the right side, knocked down, and oh my! They called him out. Both feet hit the bag at the same time. And the base ump, Troy Ingley, said, nope, he's out.
First, we move to the top of the second. Score is Whittlesey 0, Eau Claire 0.
So, Cavaliers go down, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 was left on base. We've completed 1 with the score. The Whittlesey Reds, nothing, and the Cavaliers, nothing. On the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Back at the home of the Hubbers here in Ellsworth. No score after 1 inning. Due up for the Whittlesey Reds, Brent Mueller. And let's let's see, Brandon Lacher and Spike Alexander.
Leading off for the Reds in the top of the second, the first baseman, number 26, Brent Mueller.
Mueller is the first baseman. And the pitch. That's a called strike right at the letters on the outside third of the plate. Ground ball right over to the bag, picked up by Erickson, throw to first. And they call him safe.
Ball just wasn't quite hit hard enough on that one for the Cavs to make the play.
That's going to bring up Brandon Lacher.
Third baseman, number 3, Brandon Lacher.
Lacher is the third baseman. And the first pitch is a called strike. Milner at the belt. And he delivers inside for a ball. Milner at the belt and delivers foul right back into the dugout area. Went right in the direction of Spike Alexander on the on-deck circle. And the pitch. Just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Brandon Lacher. Throw over to first, and Mueller is back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Milner delivers. High pop foul out of play. And the count holds at 2-2. Yeah, the breeze has picked up a little bit. And the pitch. Foul ball coming back towards us. Didn't quite get here.
You know, Milner's my kind of pitcher. He gets that ball and he throws it right away.
He doesn't waste any time, does he? 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Lacher. Check swing foul down the first baseline. He didn't really want to swing at that.
Kind of an excuse me there, swing.
Still 2-2. And the pitch. That's high. Bluff throw down to first by Timon, and it made Mueller dive back in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Strike called. And he got him looking. Lacher thought it was high. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Spike Alexander.
Makes sense. Designated hitter number 8, Spike Alexander.
1 down. Runner on first. We're in the top of the second inning. No score. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Milner delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Since he likes that pitch, let's go right back there again.
I'm with you.
Milner looking in. And delivers. Ground ball over to short. Toss to second for one. Throw to first. Oh my goodness. They're going to give him a fielder's choice. So the put out at second. Runner on first. And Ben Meyer comes up. He's the left fielder. And the pitch. That one's low for a ball. And the pitch. Foul ball back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Ben Meyer. Time called. And that pitch missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch fouled away. Right over into the Cavs dugout. Count holds at 1-2.
The Cavs have the first base dugout. Whittlesey has the third base dugout.
Milner delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Whittlesey goes down in the second inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 man left on base. We've completed an inning and a half. And it's the Whittlesey Reds nothing, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
The catcher, number 19, Cole Timon.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Cavaliers, Cole Timon. Timon went 2 for 4 yesterday. And he's batting .258. And it's a ground ball over towards short, scooped up there by Krasniewski. Throws it over to first, and the first baseman does not hang on to the ball. That's going to be an error on the first baseman. But it's a runner on first for the Cavaliers. That's going to bring up Campbell Kapanke. He went 2 for 2, including a towering home run over the left field wall. It's kind of Ellsworth's answer to the Green Monster in Boston. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
very tall fence out there.
They say it's 301 to the top of the fence, 280 to the bottom of the fence.
It looks like Krasniewski kind of may have overthrown his arm a little bit. He was kind of swinging it. They called time to give him a chance to get himself organized out there. So now Kapanke steps in. Rederath delivers, and the pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch swung on a miss for strike 1. Rederath looks over at first. Check swing foul down the first base line. I don't know if Rederath is really aware, but I wouldn't expect Cole Timon to be stealing. Here's the pitch. Foul back, out of play. There's a little guy over here who's dressed in a gray t-shirt who is putting on miles chasing down foul balls.
Yeah, he could give those kids at Carson Park a run for their money.
He's the one that Ben had a chance of getting a foul ball here, and this guy came from way over on the left side. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kapanke goes down swinging, brings up Luke Erickson. Erickson went 0 for 3 yesterday, and he's batting 191. But yeah, he almost beat you to that ball, Ben, and you only had like 20 feet, and he had 200 feet, and he still almost beat you there. Fly ball, right field, and right into the glove of Haynes out there in right field.
Yeah, I got that foul ball, and my pride was restored, but barely.
But barely. And you did the right thing. You handed it to him for all the effort he put into getting it.
Yes, I did.
Tyson Woodcock at the plate. He went 1 for 2 yesterday. Throw over to first and back in safely is Timon. Woodcock batting 182. Check swing, strike called. No balls and a strike to Tyson Woodcock. Foul ball out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball up the middle, fielded at short by Krasniewski. Steps on the bag to retire Cole Timon. So Woodcock gets a fielder's choice, and Timon is put out at second. So we've completed 2 innings, and the score, well, there isn't one, from the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
We head into the 3rd inning with no score here in Ellsworth.
The catcher, number 22.
Leading off for the Whittlesey Reds, catcher Cade Alexander. The Reds were winners over Iron City yesterday by a score of 9-3. Cavs were a winner over Iron City by a score of 11-1. Milner winds and delivers, and it's a strike called. Belt high. Milner winds, and the pitch. That was just low. And the pitch. That was high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Milner's delivery, fly ball out towards center field. Luke Erickson underneath, and he makes a catch. That ball's going to have a hard time sailing out left field or even center field today because that wind is blowing straight at us.
Yeah, I'm looking at that flagpole, and you're absolutely right.
There's a pitch that's just a hair high that time to Zach Haynes, the right fielder. And the pitch swung on a missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milner winds and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Milner came with the fastball that time. Milner winds and delivers. That one just missed. Our angle isn't real good for inside-outside here, so check swing, and he went. So Haynes goes down swinging. That's the 4th strikeout for Milner so far.
Center fielder number 11, Nick Meyer.
And back to the top of the order, Nick Meyer coming to the plate. He grounded to short his first time up.
Milner came into the weekend with 89 strikeouts.
And there's a strike. So let's say that's now 93. Unless they changed the math on me. That pitch missed.
And he's only given up 27 base on balls. Very efficient.
That's a good walk to strikeout ratio. Of course, we would say that now. He's got a 2-1 count to Nick Meyer. Foul ball. Counts even at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Nobody on. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. And the pitch. Soft little line shot, base hit out into right field for Nick Meyer. He just kind of stuck his bat out and poked the ball out to right field.
Second baseman number 5, Tom Milbrand.
Tom Mildebrand is at the plate. Mildebrand went grounded to short his first time up as well. And the first pitch is a called strike at the letters. Whittlesey in their navy blue tops, white pants, big block lettering Reds across the chest. And there's strike 2. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cavs in their home whites with the script Cavaliers across the chest in red. Pop foul out of the play. 1-2. Cavs with their blue hats, red bills. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. And Timon completes the strikeout by throwing it to first. So, for Whittlesey, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've completed 2.5 and still no score from Ellsworth on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, Let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Off for the Cavaliers.
All right, do it for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the third inning. We have Ben Boda, and then back to the top of the order with Caden Erickson and Xavier Bemister. Boda steps up to the plate. He went 0 for 2 yesterday, so his batting average has dropped to 128. And he looks at a called strike. And it's a foul ball off on the right side. Feels more like football weather today, Ben.
Yes, it does.
Getting us ready for Friday night. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. And on NLWN-2, we will have Colfax Viking football Friday night. Check swing, and they say he went. So, Boda goes down swinging. Brings up Caden Erickson. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. That's the third strikeout for Rutterath. Here's the pitch. Line shot out into left field for a base hit by Erickson. Erickson's one of these guys that's a first pitch hitter. And that's going to bring up Xavier Bemister. He popped out to short last time up. And the pitch is a strike. Rutterath looking in, looks over at first. Erickson with his lead. And swung on and fouled away. Erickson takes his lead at first. And the pitch. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Throw over to second for one. Throw on to first. And they threw it into the fence. So Bemister gets a fielder's choice. And that's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien, who drew a walk in his first appearance.
Gabe O'Brien.
So now we have 1 out, 2 outs. Xavier Bemister on first. Gabe O'Brien at the plate. Ground ball over to second, picked up by Mildebrand. Throw to first for the out. And the Cavaliers go down, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 3, and there's still no score from Ellsworth on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
So we go to the top of the fourth inning. No score in Ellsworth. Due up for the Whittlesey Reds are Jeff Krasniewski, Brent Mueller, and Brendan Lecher. So, Jeff Krasniewski.
The shortstop, number 33, Jeff Krasniewski.
Krasniewski struck out looking his first time up. Ground ball over to first, picked up by Woodcock, and he goes over and taps the bag. Krasniewski didn't even make an attempt. And Ben, we've seen things happen that you run down that first baseline every chance you get.
Yeah, I think every coach I've ever had at every level would say the exact same thing.
He was pretty disgusted with himself on that, but you still make the effort.
Especially in the playoffs.
Brent Mueller got an infield single last time up. And the pitch. Hard shot, about the same spot. Erickson picks it up, throws it over to first, and they got him this time. 2 up, 2 down. Brings up Brandon Lecher.
Third baseman.
He struck out looking his first trip up. Here's the pitch, fly ball out into left field. Redwine drifting over, he's under it, and he makes the catch. So, the Reds go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 3.5, and still no score from Ellsworth on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Back here in Ellsworth, and leading off for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the fourth, let's get that right, is our Geno's player of the game, Jack Redwine. And the first pitch is outside for ball one. Redwine grounded to first last time. Pop foul out of play, counts even at 1-1. Don't forget, when you go out to Geno's tomorrow, mention Jack Redwine's name and get a free soft drink. And if he finds a way to score, that will turn into an appetizer for your table. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here comes Ben with pop straight up in the air. And the catcher, Alexander, makes the catch.
Catcher number 19, Cole Timon.
So that's going to bring up Cole Timon. Timon got on an error his last time up.
All right, Rick, tell me they scored 6 runs while I was gone.
No. Wishful thinking there, Ben. Good effort on your part. He's helping save Ann here. He went and got her a jacket. The gentleman that he is.
Today, anyway.
No balls and 2 strikes to Cole Timon. And the pitch fouled away. Nick Rederath on the mound for the Whittlesey Reds. He's into his wind and the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3.
Designated hitter number 27.
So 2 down.
Kapanke.
Campbell Kapanke at the plate. And the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Kapanke struck out his last time up. Rederath has 4 strikeouts on the day so far. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. And the pitch. That one missed low. 2 balls and a strike. There's the wind and the pitch. Strike called at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Campbell Kapanke at the plate. And the pitch. Fly ball foul out of play, straight back.
I'm telling you, if I start a Little League team, this kid is my starting center fielder who's chasing all these balls.
And the pitch is straight up. Rederath coming in, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 4, and there's still no score. You're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
As we head into the top of the 5th inning, leading off for the Whittlesey Reds is Spike Alexander. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. And kind of a controversial fielder's choice. He was called safe, and that was a very close play. First pitch is high and tight for a ball. Andrew Milner winds and fires. Fly ball, foul territory. I think they're going to run out of room, and they do. Bemister was over there, but so was the fence. And the two shall not meet.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. High pop foul out of play on the left side. 1-2. Over into the tennis courts. Let's see if anybody returns it. Well, Wimbledon's over, so.
Yeah, I didn't qualify this year, Rick.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, scooped up by Erickson, throw over to first. And it got Woodcock in the face. Took a bad hop, and the Cavs have called time. It took a hop off the dirt, and Woodcock got it right in the cheek, it looked like. And we're taking a look here as they're tending to him, making sure he can see okay. And looks like Woodcock's going to stay in. He gets a nice hand from the Cavalier fans down the way. And I suspect Woodcock's going to get a shiner out of that one. So Alexander is safe at first. We're going to mark that as an error on the throw because it came up short. And the pitch is a bunt down the first baseline. Fair ball. Picked up, throw to first, and in time. So the sacrifice is complete. So Alexander moves over to second as Ben Meyer gets out on a sacrifice bunt. Brings up Cade Alexander, the catcher.
With runs being at a premium, that's a good play.
1 out. Pitch is inside. Alexander flew out to center field his last time up. And the pitch. That one just missed. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch. That's a strike called. And the 2-1 pitch, ground ball over to second. Erickson picks it up, throws it over to Woodcock for the second out of the inning.
The Whittlesey Reds runner advances to third.
Right fielder number 4, Zach Haynes.
So that brings up Zach Haynes. And that's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. It's a cool one here in Ellsworth. 71 degrees. Pitch is high for a ball. But there's a pretty good breeze coming out of the east.
Yeah, they moved this game up for a reason.
And the pitch. That's a strike called. 1
wanna-
ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on third. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Zach Haynes goes down looking, and the Cavaliers get out of the inning with no runs on no hits. There was 1 Cavalier error and 1 man left on base. So we have played 3.5, 4.5. And the score, Whittlesey Reds nothing, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
And we're back here in Ellsworth. Cavaliers looking to push a run across the plate somewhere along in here. Due up for the Cavs in the bottom of the fifth. We have Luke Erickson, Tyson Woodcock, and Ben Boda.
Now for the Cavaliers.
Erickson flew out to right field his last time up. He's gone 0 for 4 for the weekend. And the pitch. Strike called. That one came right down the middle of the plate. Erickson had a notion but decided he wanted to see what it looked like. Rederath into his motion and delivers. Ground ball foul down the first baseline. No balls, 2 strikes. Rederath winds. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Rederath pulled the string on that one a little bit.
First baseman, number 12.
5 strikeouts for Nick Rederath. Tyson Woodcock comes to the plate. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Fouls it back into the screen. And that pitch missed. Counts even at 1-1.
Rederath basically going with 3 pitches today. Fastball, changeup, and slider.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. That was his fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's outside for a ball. Counts even at 2-2. Rederath's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That brings up Ben Boda, who struck out his first time up. And that pitch is outside. And the pitch, outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Ben Boda. There's the wind and the 2-0 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. 2 down. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 2-2. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Inside, it almost got him. Full count. Rederath delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Rederath strikes out the side of the Cavaliers, and we've played 5 innings, and we're still scoreless from Ellsworth on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but I could swear I felt some drops of rain. Ben stepped out from under the awning and he says, yep, it is. So due up for the Whittlesey Reds in the top of the 6th inning. We have the top of the order, Nick Meyer and Tom Mildebrand and Jeff Krasniewski. And now it's actually coming down where I can hear it on top of the awning. Umbrellas are popping up in the area. Cassie's looking around like, it's wet down here. Milner into his wind, and the delivery to Krasniewski.
A little high on that pitch. Strike there. Foul ball, got Cole timing. It's going to be a minute here. Cole trying to shake it off.
And it's raining pretty good right now. And the pitch. Ground ball right out in front of the plate, and he's saying foul ball. It hit the batter in the batter's box. No balls, 2 strikes. To Jeff Krasniewski.
Score update after 2 innings. Hayward Hawks 5, Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks 0.
No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fouled out of play. Count remains at 0-2.
Strike swinging. Struck him out.
That's the first time Meyer has struck out today. 7th strikeout for Milner.
So he has 7 strikeouts today, and he had 5 against the Marshfield Chaparrals.
And the pitch. High pop, foul out of play. That one could be yours, Ben.
A little bit behind me, and you'll never guess who's chasing it down.
Oh, I don't think we have to guess. This rain that we're getting right now doesn't look like it's going to last very long. Here's the wind and the pitch by Milner. That missed. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. And the pitch. And that one missed. 3-0 now is the count to Tom Mildebrand. Well, now it's not 3-0. They changed it on the scoreboard. Here's the pitch. There's ball 4. So Mildebrand draws a base on balls. That's the first walk given up by Milner today. Xavier Bemister is now playing first base for the Cavaliers. We'll have to check and see who's over at third. See if that's Jackson Vance over there. Yes, it is. And the pitch. Two balls and a strike. And it's popped up out of play. Two balls, two strikes. Milner looking in. And he delivers. Pop foul out of play. Well, this is a test of our equipment to whether it can function while wet. We've got it under the awning here, but under the table, Ben. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Krasnewski. We're trying to get things adjusted here to keep things kind of out of the rain. And that pitch made the count 3-2. I thought it was 3-2, but I had lost track while moving stuff around. Here's the pitch. Check swing foul back into the screen. Mildebrand on first, 1 out.
Boy, if you're the pitcher, you want a nice dry ball here.
Count is full. And the pitch. That's high for ball 4. Brent Mueller comes to the plate. Mueller is 1 for 2. And the pitch. That missed for a ball. And a line shot out into right field, falls in for a base hit. Throw coming in toward the plate, and they got him! 9-2 on the putout. As Mildebrand tried to score.
That's exactly how you draw that up. So 2 down.
Timon stuck his ground and laid the tag on. Strong throw from Gabe O'Brien out in right field. It's going to bring Brandon Leacher. Milner looking in and delivers. It's high for a ball. Runners at first and second. Runners at first and second. And a fly ball out into left field, and it's out of here. A 3-run home run by Brandon Leacher. And that puts the Whittlesey Reds on top, 3-0. So Whittlesey opens up a 3-0 lead. And the umpire has just delivered some warnings to both teams. And here's the pitch. Foul back out of play. Spike Alexander, he's 0 for 2. Grounded into a fielder's choice and got on an error. That was the error that ended up ending Tyson Woodcock's day. There's the pitch. Foul back into the screen. The umpire is trying to get things to move along a little bit here and clean off home plate so he can see it clearly. He got a rag to do that with. Three to nothing, Whittlesey on top. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into left field. And Redwine gets under it and makes the catch. So that's the third out, but not before some damage was done. With 3 runs on 2 hits, there were no errors and nobody left on base. We've played 5.5, and it's the Whittlesey Reds 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Leading off the Cavaliers half of the 6th inning, Caden Erickson took the first pitch for a strike, and then this one's fouled back out of play. 0-2 is the count. Erickson is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. And the pitch, that's high for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High fly ball out into center field, shallow center field. Krasniewski under it, and he makes the catch. Xavier Bemister, who's now playing first base, is at the plate. Line shot, foul down the first base line. High pop-up, shallow right field, and making the catch there is Mildebrand. That's going to bring up Gabe O'Brien, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out to second base his last time up. Here's the wind and the pitch. Little flare base hit out into right field, and O'Brien is safe on first.
So the Cavs have a runner on base with 2 outs.
Brings up our Geno's player of the game, Jack Redwine. Jack is 0 for 2. Pop foul to the catcher his last time up. He also grounded over to first. And the runner goes, and they are sending O'Brien back to first because the home plate umpire did not call time back in, as O'Brien took off for second. And the pitch, that one's low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes to Jack Redwine. And there's a chopper foul on the right side. And the rain starts coming down hard again. Pitch is low and inside, gets away from the catcher, and O'Brien. Now they throw it out into center field, and O'Brien's going to end up on third. O'Brien was off on the pitch, so we're going to give him the stolen base at second. But then an error on the catcher put him over on third, as he airmailed it out into center field.
And with the grass being wet in the outfield, that's a great idea.
Two balls, 1 strike to Jack Redwine with 2 down. Cavs have a runner on third. Here's the pitch. Hard shot, ground ball over to first, and it's a foot race, and making the foot race was Mueller. And so Redwine grounds out 3 unassisted. So the Cavaliers get no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. We've played 6, and the score, Whittlesey Reds 3, Cavaliers nothing, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
A correction on the defensive players for the Cavaliers. The third baseman is Caden Erickson, and playing over at second base is the pickup player for the Cavaliers, Gio Basile. And they picked him up from the Beef River Bullfrogs. Cavs down 3-0 as we head to the 7th inning. And we understand that our cameras have probably frozen. And we're hoping to get them back again. The first pitch is a called strike to Ben Meyer. Milner delivers, swung on and missed, strike 2. And it's a called strike for out number 1. Brings up Kate Alexander. That's the 8th strikeout for Milner. Alexander is 0 for 2. And I know our cameras are frozen.
Ball high. 2 balls, no strikes. Ball high. 3 balls, no strikes.
3-0, and ball 4. And our cameras are now back, I think. Well, it looks like they might still be frozen. So anyway, Alexander draws the walk, and Zach Haynes is up. He struck out twice. Pitch is inside for a ball.
So Milner with 5 straight balls.
And folks are looking over.
Looks like a car had his headlights on, so we'll wait till the car turns their headlights off.
Now it looks like they're ready to go. And there's a strike called.
Ball 2 low, count is 2-1.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Zach Haynes. And it's fouled back into the screen. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is high. Now the cameras are coming back. And ball 4. So Zach Haynes is on first. We have runners at first and second. That takes us back to the top of the order. The count is 2-0 to Nick Meyer. We have a lot of equipment that's having difficulties right now with the wet.
I think it was covered up. She couldn't.
And that pitch is called strike. Count is full. Nick Meyer thought he had ball 4. 2 down. Actually, this is Mildebrand that's at the plate. And the pitch. Fly ball, foul territory, left side, and it's going to fall to the ground. Here's the pitch, and that's ball 4. So Mildebrand draws the walk. Bases are loaded. That's the 3rd walk given up this inning, and out comes Ryan Bemister. They're going to have a little conference at the mound. As these have turned into pretty miserable conditions for baseball right now. They're having a talk out on the mound, and let's see what they end up deciding. Umpire heads out to break up the conversation. Bemister said what he needed to say. So at the plate is Jeff Krasniewski. And the pitch. Foul back into the screen. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. We're in the 7th inning. Milner delivers. That's a strike called. 0-2 is the count. Milner fires. That's high and inside for a ball. And the pitch. High pop foul out of play. And the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Andrew Milner finally gets out of the inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left on base. And the score after 6.5, we're in the 7th inning stretch. It's the Whittlesey Reds 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to announce that the new home for Colfax Viking football is now NLWN-2. Our first game broadcast is coming up on Friday, August 18th. The Colfax Vikings will host the Whitehall Norse. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 18th, on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold. Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
And we're going to have a rain delay, it looks like. The umpires met out near home plate for quite a while, and they're going to delay this one for a little bit. They put the tarp out, and we're going to take a weather delay, and we're going to try and get our equipment dried out a little bit as well. So it's a weather delay on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV, and we will go to that right now. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.
The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible. The Cavaliers are in a weather delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Cavalier action just as soon as possible.